everyone, and welcome to this Level 1 class for online English learners. This is lesson number 1. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about getting to know you. The learning objectives are to identify regions and countries on a map, practice introducing yourself, practice spelling names and using titles, and talk about school. So here is a map of the world, and we are going to go through some countries on this map. Unfortunately, we are not going to take the time to go through every single country, but I will talk about a few countries, and you can put in the comments on this video any countries that I missed that you would like to point out. All right, so label A shows North America and includes a label for Canada and the United States. So A is North America, 1 is Canada, 2 is the United States. All right, does anyone know what region B is showing? Region B is Central America, and then there are 3 countries labeled: Mexico, Cuba, and El Salvador. So here we go. Central America, Mexico, Cuba, and El Salvador. All right, does anyone know what region is labeled C? This is South America, and the 2 countries that are labeled are Peru and Brazil. So this is Central America, Peru, and Brazil. All right, what continent or region is labeled with letter D? This one is Europe, and the 2 countries that are labeled are Poland and Russia. So this is Europe, and then we have Poland, and this big country is Russia. All right, what region is labeled by letter E? So you can think it's kind of in the middle. So this one is the Middle East. And the 2 countries I have labeled are Syria and Iraq. So we have Syria and Iraq. All right, how about letter F? What continent is labeled by letter F? This one is Africa. And the 2 countries that are labeled are Ethiopia and Somalia. So here we go. Africa, Ethiopia, Somalia. All right, and our last one, letter G. Does anyone know what is labeled with letter G? This is Asia. This is the biggest continent in the world. And then 3 countries that I've pointed out are China, South Korea, and Vietnam. So we have China, South Korea, and Vietnam. All right, now I have a question for you. What country are you from? And can you find it on the map? So you can pause the video. I'll go back to the map for you to look at. And let's see if you can find your country on the map. And then write down your country's name. In different countries, people can greet each other in different ways. So we have 3 pictures here. So think to yourself or write down, what is this first picture showing? This one is showing shake hands. This is what we generally do in the United States. How about about picture 2? What is this showing? This one is showing bow or to bow. And this is more common in a lot of countries in Asia, like Japan. Finally, what is picture 3 showing? This one is hug. And sometimes people in the United States hug if it's a close friend, but you also see this in some European countries like Italy and some Southern and Central American countries. All right, so now I want you to think and answer, how do we greet each other in the United States? And how do you greet other people in your country of origin? I already said in the United States, we generally shake hands. And the answer for the second question will depend on what country you are from. All right, these are 3 things that we'll often say to each other when we greet each other in the United States. You might hear someone say, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or how are you? And after you meet someone, it is nice to say, nice to meet you. And they will generally say, nice to meet you too. If you are with someone else, practice asking and answering these questions. How are you? In general, Americans will just answer, fine, thanks, how are you? The second question is, what is your name? Where are you from? And then after asking and answering these 3 questions, practice saying, nice to meet you. All right, now I am going to say 5 common American names out loud, and you can practice trying to spell them. Number 1 is James. Number 1, James. Number 2, Mary. Number 2, Mary. Number 3, Robert. Number 3, Robert. Number 4, John. Number 4, John. Number 5, Jennifer. Number 5, Jennifer. All right, this slide shows the answer. James is spelled James. Mary is spelled Mary. Robert is spelled Robert. John is spelled John. And Jennifer is spelled Jennifer. I'll read them all one more time. James, James. Mary, Mary. Robert, Robert. John, John. And Jennifer, Jenniffer. Sometimes at work or when children are talking to adults, we use titles. So titles include Mr., Miss, Ms., Mrs., and Dr. Mr. is used for both single and married men. Miss is used for both single and married women, or that's pronounced Ms. usually. Miss is used for single women. Mrs. is used for married women. And doctor is used for both men or women who have a PhD, which is the highest degree in the United States. The letters U and S should be capitalized in the United States. And finally, after you use a title, you want to use a person's last name. Here are 3 examples. Mr. Johnson, Miss Chan or Ms. Chan, because she is not married, and Mrs. Brown or Ms. Brown, because Mrs. Brown is married. All right, here are 3 that you can try and answer. Does this look like Mr. Rivas or Mrs. Rivas? You can think for a minute. This one is Mr. All right. Would you say Miss Parker or Mrs. Parker? Since she looks very young, this will be Miss Parker. And finally, would we say Miss Lee or would we say Mr. Lee? This looks like a woman, so we would use Ms. Lee because we do not know if she is married or not married. If we knew she was married, we could say Mrs. Lee. What title would you use? Would you say Mr. and then your last name, Mrs. and then your last name, Miss and then your last name, or Ms. and then your last name, or Doctor and your last name? All right, now we're going to talk about pronouns. Pronouns replace nouns. The pronoun he is used for men and boys. The pronoun she is used for girls and women. And the pronoun they can be used for more than one person or a person who prefers to not use he or she. An example of using a pronoun is saying she is my teacher instead of saying Natalie is my teacher. You can also use contractions. So she's means she is, and he's means he is. Which word am I saying? I will say it twice. She's. She's. Does that sound like A or B? That one was choice A. Let's try another. He's. He's. Does that sound like choice A or B? That was choice B. All right, now here is a conversation that you can practice. It would be a good time to pause the video and practice speaking through this conversation on your own, but I will read them all as examples. Who's that? That's my teacher. No, that's not my teacher. Oh, you're right. That's Jin Soo. Jin-soo, where is he from? He's from South Korea. All right, we'll do the second conversation. Who's that? That's my teacher. No, that's not my teacher. Oh, you're right. That's Laura. Laura, where's she from? She's from Mexico. All right, and we'll do the third conversation. Who's that? That's my teacher. No, that's not the teacher. Oh, you're right. That's Sagal. Sagal, where's she from? She's from Somalia. All right, I'm going to read each of these conversations one more time, just so you can practice listening and thinking about using he's and she's. Who's that? That's my teacher. No, that's not the teacher. Oh, you're right. That's Jin-soo. Jin-soo? Where's he from? He's from South Korea. Who's that? That's my teacher. No, that's not the teacher. Oh, you're right. That's Laura. Laura, where is she from? She's from Mexico. Who's that? That's the teacher. No, that's not the teacher. Oh, you're right. That's Sagal. Sagal, where is she from? She's from Somalia. All right, so now we are going to practice using the verb to be in the affirmative. Affirmative just means positive, so what you say is true. When we're using the pronoun I, or when we're using the subject I, we use the form am. So the verb to be becomes am when we use the subject I. And when we use the subject he or she, or a person's name, we use is. So I am, he is, she is, or a person's name is. We can also use contractions here. Instead of saying I am, we can say I'm. Instead of he is, we can say he's. And instead of she is, we can say she's. For example, I'm from the United States. What country are you from? And you would say, I'm from, and then say your country. Another example, I'm a teacher. Are you a student? And you could say, yes, I'm a student. Here are some examples. I'm from Mexico. She's from Vietnam. What should we put for number 3? Would you say he's from El Salvador or she's from El Salvador? This one would be he's from El Salvador. All right, now we have a woman saying, I'm from Peru. So we can again have her say, I'm from Peru. For number 5, would we say she's from South Korea or he's from South Korea? This one would be she's. She's from South Korea. And number 6, would we say he's from China or she's from China? This one would be he's. He's from China. I will read all of these examples one more time. I'm from Mexico. She's from Vietnam. He's from El Salvador. I'm from Peru. She's from South Korea. He's from China. Now we're going to use the verb to be in the negative form. So this is what you say for something that is not true. And you can say, I am not if it's about you, or if it's about one other person, you can say, he is not, she is not, or that person's name, and then is not. You can also use contractions. I'm not, he's not, or she's not. One more time. I am not becomes I'm not. He is not becomes he's not. And she is not becomes she's not. All right, let's practice with these examples. So we can see from number 1, she's from Peru. So would we say she's from Ethiopia, or would we say she's not from Ethiopia? We would say she's not from Ethiopia because we already know she is from Peru. All right, how about number 3? Would we say Kofi is in level 3, so he's in level 3, or would we say he's not in level 3? Since we can see that he is in level 1, we would say he's not in level 3. Now, I may have given away the answer for question 4. Would we say he's in level 1 or he's not in level 1? In this case, we'd say he's in level 1 because this is true. He is in level 1. All right, now we have 3 vocabulary words and 3 pictures. In the first picture, does it look like the kids are safe while they're crossing the street? They are easy while they are crossing the street, or they are hard while they are crossing the street? Uh-oh. For this one, we could say they are safe while crossing the street because the crossing guard, the man with the stop sign, is keeping them safe. All right, how about number 2? This is easy or this is hard? I think this one looks easy. The kid looks like they are having an easy time. And now number 3, it says this is not easy. So if something is not easy, what is it? We can say it is hard. So to read these examples one more time, they are safe. This is easy. This is not easy. It is hard. All right, think about living in the United States. What is hard and what is easy? Now, this might be a little bit different for everyone, but it's a good question to think about what is hard and what is easy. All right, now I have a reading right here. There are 6 questions after the reading, so I am going to read them first so you know what to be thinking about when you are listening and reading along. Number 1, people come to live in the US for different A, families, B, reasons, or C, immigrants. 2, some immigrants come to A, get jobs, B, live an easy life, or C, make new friends in the US. Number 3, more than A, 50, B, 70, or C, 90% of immigrants in the US say they are happy here. More than 50% of immigrants living in the US are from A, Europe, B, Latin America, or C, Africa. About A, 17, B, 24, or C, 27% of immigrants living in the US are from Asia. About 8% of immigrants living in the US are from A, Africa and the Middle East, B, Europe and Canada, or C, North America. All right, now I will read the passage twice. If you are able, you can read along as I am reading. Immigrants in the US. Every year, many immigrants come to the US. They come from different places and for different reasons. Why do immigrants come to the US? Some people come for work. They get jobs in the US. Some people come to be safe. There are problems in their countries. Some people come to be with their family. For example, the parents come first, the children come later to be with their parents. Where are immigrants from? Many immigrants come from Central or South America. They come from countries like Mexico and Brazil. Many immigrants come from countries in Asia. For example, they come from China or India. Some immigrants are from Europe or Africa. Some are from other places. Are immigrants happy to be here in the US? It is not easy to leave your home. It is hard to start a new life in a new country. But more than 70% of immigrants in the US say they are happy to be here. Now we can look at this chart. Immigrants living in the US by region of birth, 51% are from Latin America, 27% are from Asia, 13.5% are from Europe and Canada, and 8% are from the Middle East and Africa. 0.5% are from other places. We will do the reading one more time and then answer the questions. You can also pause the video and read to yourself. Immigrants in the US. Every year, many immigrants come to the US. They come from different places and for different reasons. Why do immigrants come to the US? Some people come for work. They get jobs in the US. Some people come to be safe. There are problems in their countries. Some people come to be with their family. For example, the parents come first, the children come later to be with their parents. Where are immigrants from? Many immigrants come from Central or South America. They come from countries like Mexico and Brazil. Many immigrants come from countries in Asia. For example, they come from China or India. Some immigrants are from Europe or Africa. Some are from other places. Are immigrants happy to be here in the US? It is not easy to leave your home. It is hard to start a new life in a new country. But more than 70% of immigrants in the US say they are happy to be here. Immigrants living in the US by region of birth. 51% are from Latin America, 27% are from Asia, 13.5% are from Europe and Canada, and 8% are from the Middle East and Africa, and 0.5% are from other places. All right, let's try to answer the questions. Question 1. People come to live in the US for different A, families, B, reasons, or C, immigrants. This one is going to be reasons. And we can go back to the reading and see. Some people come for work. There are problems in their countries. So some people come to be safe, and some people come to be with their family. So work, safety, and family are three different reasons. All right, question 2. Some immigrants come to blank in the US. A, get jobs. B, live an easy life. C, make new friends. What do you think this one is? Do people come to get jobs, come for an easy life, or come to make new friends? This one, like we saw answering the last question, is get jobs. All right, question 3. More than what percent of immigrants in the US say they are happy here? Is this 50%, 70%, or 90%? This one is 70%. And we can look back at the reading to see. It says more than 70% of immigrants in the US say they are happy to be here. All right, we'll try 3 more questions. 1, more than 50% of immigrants living in the US are from A, Europe, B, Latin America, or C, Africa. This one is B, Latin America. Question 2, about blank of immigrants living in the US are from Asia. Is this 17%, 24%, or 27%? Ooh, I might need to look to remember this one. Looks like 27%. All right, and the last question, about 8% of immigrants living in the US are from A, Africa and the Middle East, B, Europe and Canada, or C, North America. This one will be A, Africa and the Middle East. And we'll look back at that chart one more time to review. So we have 51% from Latin America, 27% from Asia, and 8% from the Middle East and Africa. All right, now we have 6 new vocabulary words talking about school. Number 1 shows an 85% on a test, which is good. Number 2 shows a 100% on a test. Would you say that is boring, easy, great, hard, or interesting? This one is great. All right, number 3 shows a woman reading a book and smiling. Do you think she thinks the book is boring, easy, hard, or interesting? This one is interesting. All right, number 4 shows a math problem, 1 + 1. Is this math problem boring, easy, or hard? This one is easy. All right, number 5 This shows what's called the quadratic formula. Do you think the quadratic formula is hard or boring? This one is hard. This can be hard to learn. But once you learn it, it can get a lot easier. And finally, number 6, this woman does not look very interested in the book. And what is the opposite of interesting? Boring. All right, so 6 new vocabulary words. You can practice saying them out loud with me. Good, great, interesting, easy, hard, boring. And one last time. Good, great, interesting, easy, hard, and boring. All right, here's another conversation to practice. If you have somebody else at home with you or wherever you are watching this video, it is good to pause the video and try reading it with another person. But if not, you can just follow along as I read through the conversation. Hi, what class are you in? We're in level 1. Oh, how is it? It's easy. The teacher is helpful. How are the students? They're helpful too. All right, I'll do that conversation one more time. Hi, what class are you in? We're in level 1. Oh, how is it? It's easy. The teacher is helpful. How are the students? They're helpful too. All right, now I'll read the second conversation. Hi, what class are you in? We're in level 1. Oh, how is it? It's great. The teacher is smart. How are the students? They're smart too. All right, I'll do that conversation a second time. Hi, what class are you in? We're in level 1. Oh, how is it? It's great. The teacher is smart. How are the students? They're smart too. All right, and now conversation 3. Hi, what class are you in? We're in level 1. Oh, how is it? It's interesting. The teacher is friendly. How are the students? They're friendly too. All right, now we have a little bit more grammar using the verb to be with we, you, they, and it. So we means 2 or more people, including yourself. And if you have we, you would say we are. You means you are talking directly to another person, and you would say you are. And they means that there are 2 or more people, not including yourself. And you can say they are. You can also use contractions. We are becomes we're. You are becomes your. They are becomes their. And it is becomes its. All right, here are some examples. Mr. Salas says, you're in level 1. And student A says, thanks. Now Mr. Salas is talking to a second student. Here. You, and then what do we need here? What 2 letters? Or what word? So we need the word are, and we can do apostrophe RE. Here, you're in level 1, level 2. And student B says, thank you. All right, now we have more conversations with student A and student B. Student A, so you and Tom are in level 2. Student B, Yes. And then what do we need to put after we? We can say we're, like we are. We're in level 2. Student A, how is your class? It, and then what do we add after it? We can say it's interesting. And how are the students? They, and then what do we need? They are, so we can say they're great. I'll read the conversation one more time. So you and Tom are in level 2. Yes, we're in level 2. How is your class? It's interesting. And how are the students? They're great. All right, and now we also have negative contractions using the verb to be. So instead of saying is not, we can say isn't. And instead of saying are not, we can say aren't. He isn't, she isn't, you aren't, they aren't, we aren't. I'll read those all one more time. He isn't, she isn't, you aren't, they aren't, we aren't. All right, and here are some questions to practice. So we're going to write isn't or aren't. And the first example is done. My teacher isn't from Canada. Now you can say my classmates. Would you say my classmates isn't or my classmates aren't? This would be aren't because classmates is plural. There is more than one person in the class. So you can say my classmates aren't from the United States. All right, now Anna is just one person. So would you say isn't or aren't? We would say isn't. Anna isn't absent. Now number 4, our books. So there are 2 or more books. Would you say isn't or aren't? This one is our books aren't boring. All right, for number 5, it, do we use isn't after it or do we use aren't? When the subject is it, we say isn't. It isn't easy. And finally, her last name, we're talking about one person. So would that be isn't or aren't? Her last name isn't Brown, it's Wilson. I'll read these all one more time. My teacher isn't from Canada. My classmates aren't from the United States. Anna isn't absent. Our books aren't boring. It isn't easy. Her last name isn't Brown, it's Wilson. All right, and I think one more practice activity is here. So we're going to write the words is, isn't, are, or aren't. Carlos isn't in Peru. He's in the United States. Anna, and we said in the last one that Anna isn't absent. She's here. So we can again say Anna isn't absent. All right, my book is or isn't, are or aren't hard. It isn't easy. All right, so the second part kind of gives us the answer. If something isn't easy, then what would we say? We would say it is hard. My book is hard. It isn't easy. All right, number 4, my classmates. So my classmates is, isn't, are or aren't here. They're absent. All right, so if someone is absent, they are not here. So my classmates aren't here. They're absent. All right, Lila and Rob is, isn't, are or aren't in level 2. They aren't in level 1. All right, so if there are 2 levels and Lila and Rob are not in level 1, what do we know about level 2? We can say Lila and Rob are in level 2. All right, and last example, they is, isn't, are or aren't from Canada. They're from the United States. All right, so if we're saying they are from the United States, then we know they are not or aren't from Canada. I will read all of these examples one more time. Carlos isn't in Peru. He's in the United States. Anna isn't absent. She's here. My book is hard. It isn't easy. My classmates aren't here. They're absent. Lila and Rob are in level 2. They aren't in level 1. And they aren't from Canada. They're from the United States. All right, and now I have one last reading and 4 questions. So the 4 questions are, what is the writer's first and last names? Where is she from? Where is she now? And how is her class? If you want to pause the video, you can read this to yourself. If not, I will read it out loud. Marta Bonas, my class. I'm Marta Bonas. My first name is Marta. My last name is Bonas. I'm from Warsaw, Poland. Now I'm in Chicago, Illinois. I'm an English student. My class is helpful. The students are friendly. All right, I'll read it one more time. Marta Bonas, my class. I'm Marta Bonas. My first name is Marta. My last name is Bonas. I'm from Warsaw, Poland. Now I'm in Chicago, Illinois. I'm an English student. My class is helpful. The students are friendly. All right, what are the writer's first and last names? So I think she has it written at the top and then introduces herself as Marta Bonas. Where is she from? She says she is from Warsaw, Poland. Where is she now? She is in Chicago, Illinois, which is a city in the United States. And how is her class? I think she says it is interesting. Let's go back and look. Oh, helpful. So her class is helpful. We'll read it one more time for practice. I'm Marta Bonas. My first name is Marta. My last name is Bonas. I'm from Warsaw, Poland. Now I'm in Chicago, Illinois. I'm an English student. My class is helpful. The students are friendly. So what are the writer's first and last names? Marta Bonas. Where is she from? Warsaw, Poland, which is a country in Europe. Where is she now? She is in Chicago, Illinois, which is the United States. And her class is helpful. All right, for homework, I would like you to complete this assignment. I'm, and then you can say your name. My first name is, and write your first name. My last name is, and write your last name. I'm student, so you could say I'm an English student. My class is, and then you can say if your class is fun, interesting, boring. You can put any word there that describes your class. All right, thank you so much for watching this whole video. I'm really excited to be recording these. If you thought this class was too hard, you might want to look at the basics class first. If you thought this was too easy, then you could watch the first class of level 2 and see if that is more appropriate for you. But thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.